Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles for people of all walks of life, no matter who you are, no matter what age you are, no matter where you're coming from, what situation you're dealing with, for everybody to become the magician of your life and to manifest exactly what it is that you're after. Okay, bar none. If you'd like to be in my coaching, all the info is below. I ask that you please book 1 hour session first so that we can get to know one another. Provided, after you've already got familiar with my material somewhat, watched a few videos, etc. My personality is very direct. I'm very honest. I don't know any other way to be, nor would I like to. Yes, I can be soft in coaching when it's necessary, but I feel it is my duty and obligation as a coach, being that there's so many coaches out there that are quite frankly full of shit. I feel like it is my duty and obligation to tell you the truth, and so be prepared for some truth. I'm going to deliver it gently. Nevertheless, I am going to deliver it. And I feel like this is exactly what's necessary for your progress. If I'm going to be another coach who's going to lie to you, to put a band-aid on a huge wound, so to speak, you aren't going to make any progress and you're going to waste your money. And that is absolutely not okay with me whatsoever. I want you to really say to me once you conclude my coaching, yes, it was worth every fucking penny. And this is why I show up 120 zillion percent, that is, for my clients in every session. I deliver the channeling, and all you have to do is just show up wide open, wide open to my suggestions, humble and honest about the whole process, honest about how you feel, honest about where you are. If you have any questions about what I just said, then you can email me directly. The emails are below. So thank you to everybody again who joined me for my live yesterday. I kind of like these 30-minute lives, and comment in below your opinion, what it is you think about it. What I forgot to mention in the live is that I think that what I'll do is I'll have those twice a week. So maybe Monday and Saturday, something, maybe Tuesday and Saturday. Actually, that sounds better. I'm not sure that I can do actually Tuesday, but we'll figure it out. Twice a week I'll go on live, and you'll have the opportunity to have your questions answered. I'm here for you ultimately, and I feel like this is a really important part of our relationship here for this channel to fulfill its purpose. Okay, so Saturday we will be going live 3 p.m. again for 30 minutes. Okay, so we were discussing on Wednesday yesterday. Well, I was discussing, and then I answered a question of Natalie. And again, Natalie, thank you so much for your questions. Really, really great, powerful questions. We were discussing how it's not a punishment for you to go from one state of being, one parallel reality to another parallel reality. It's not a punishment, it's an upgrade. In that sense, if you start viewing your challenges and whatever it is that you're dealing with right now as gifts in order for you to be able to evolve, if you really kind of like download what I'm just saying, I'm saying to you, you really are going to start becoming really, really grateful. Yes, even for those really tough challenges, because if as a result of those challenges you actually you gave them a different interpretation and accepted that not as a punishment but as a level up, you will be grateful for that experience. No matter how challenging, you will be great. If you evolved out of the situation, that's what it was there for, okay, period, the end. So if it takes you some time to quote unquote quantum leap, okay, quantum leap happens in 1 minute. Don't believe anything you hear out there, okay? It does not take months. It does not take years. That you ought to be working on yourself during this. That's a different, statement other than I'm quantum leaping. I'm quantum leaping. It's 9 months later, I'm quantum leaping. No, darling. Quantum leap is in 1 minute. It's you being prepared and having arranged your energy, okay, in such a way where you're now in resonance, completely 100% in resonance with this reality. And so it shows itself to you, okay? There's no other way that it's going to show itself to you other than you being on its team, so to speak, okay? So I wanted to discuss in this audio something very subtle, but something that is really, really important. And it, like I said, I want to be as transparent as possible on this channel in terms of like what actually helps me personally and helps my clients, and helped me, I mean, even before I understood what manifestation was, okay? Because I think it's important to understand all these nuances in order to really know where you are and not really feel like, again, it's a punishment. So this is about the kind of predictions you're making about your own future. Anybody can have a difficult situation. Anybody can have a challenge arise. That does not really speak to your character or anything else other than, as I just discussed, it's an opportunity to level up. That's all it really is, okay? Because you're supposed to do that. That's what you're put on earth to do. But the kind of predictions that you're making along the way is what's super important. And it is so subtle as, let's just say you're sending an email or you're seeing a post on Instagram or whatever it is you're doing throughout your day. And you start thinking about, in such a really subtle way, it's just a thought, maybe a pronouncement, very inaudible almost because it's so habitual. These inaudible habitual statements that you make, or the declarations or the predictions or whatever the fuck you want to call them, the way that you predict your future is in those subtle moments when you're doing something and you think of someone, let's just say you're a SP, or you think of some matter, or you're thinking of some situation, and that thought right there, that habitual kind of almost lazy, automatic thought is your prediction about that something. And if you give a shit enough, if you really do care enough, okay, I'm not asking you to watch every single thought, but notice. I'm not asking you to chase your every fucking every second of the day your thoughts. No fucking way. That's disastrous. That's more stress. That's what a lot of coaches promote, which I know that they haven't tried it because they would fucking know it doesn't work. Anyway, it's in those subtle moments that you make a deposit of energy. What is this energy? Is it this energy of, oh yeah, it's happening. I know, I can feel it on my fingertips, metaphorically speaking, or literally. I can smell this SP in my house. We're together. Is it that thought? Let's just say, like, completion. You're almost, it's not almost there. You're there. You're just about to reveal it to yourself in the visible. Okay, or is it that you're making the pronouncement of, yeah, this is never gonna work. I can't see how it's gonna work. I don't know what they're thinking. They probably don't care. You see how important the dialogue that you're having with the universe, i.e. yourself, you're making decisions there. Those are not just empty fucking pronouncements. And again, notice the difference. Not asking you to chase every single thought, but it really does help to take inventory. So important. If you don't know what you're working with, you can't make any changes, which is why I emphasize, please come humble and honest to my coaching. I don't really particularly care, unless you really harm somebody, like beyond belief. I really don't care what has gone on. Nothing is too embarrassing and too ridiculous. Again, the only exclusion would be if you really harm somebody, knowingly so, and have done absolutely nothing about it to make amends. yeah, in that case, I judge. Totally. Very much so. But you yourself going through your challenges and going through your whatever, going through your anger, frustration, badu, all of that is totally normal and acceptable, and you're totally lovable in that sense. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And there's nothing to be ashamed of if you happen to be, and this I want to underline 1 trillion times. Fuck 300 million. 1 trillion times. Why don't we? It is not a reflection on you that you don't do the second part about your thoughts. Meaning, you don't automatically go like, oh yeah, excuse me. It is not a bad reflection on you if you're not doing that yet. If you're not doing what I'm suggesting you do that. Yes, it's supposed to be easy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be all in my favor. There's no judgment. Just notice that you're not there yet. And take the inventory of what it is you're working with now and start really rejecting certain ideas. Like, why the fuck would I think this? This doesn't serve me. This is not about me. This is somebody else's bogus idea that I should throw in the fucking trash. This is why inventory is really, really important, because you start really looking at it rather than ignoring it and it being under your breath. Listen, the declarations and the predictions and the statements that you make under your breath are the most powerful. There's no resistance there. So if you can get yourself to, and this is an exercise, like I said, you have to get your energy towards where it's habitual for you to go, oh yeah, I know it's going to happen. It is happening now. It's not even happening. It's like happened already, and I'm about to really see it unfold. It's as if I've already lived it. And I've spoken about this on my channel, how nothing really is so new. You have already lived this life. I have had these, like when you're having deja vu moments, that's what this is the indication of, that you're reliving something that, in my opinion, that's my thought process, that you came to this lifetime to correct, in quotations, something that you need to live over. Okay, so this scenario has already played out, and you indeed have multiple, like billions of options, the way to react now. So perhaps if you want to play this game with yourself, you could say to yourself, you know what? I used to be this person. I was on that timeline who used to think that it's super fucking hard for me to, let's just say, attract the ideal version of my SP. Okay, and parenthesis here, still, it's whatever you make difficult for yourself that's going to be difficult for you. But what if I start entertaining, again, a different timeline on which I happen to be now? Again, play with your mind however you will. And in this timeline that I came to relive and correct the situation, because make no mistake, in the other timeline, not a goddamn thing changes. And, what the thoughts are that you are picking up, like it's never going to change, it's never going to happen to me, is of the past timeline. But what if I were to entertain a new timeline and therefore a new personality? And we've talked about this already. But what if I was to, just as an experiment, to put on this feeling of being this person for whom it's easy? What kinds of pronouncements will I be having then? Good question, no? This is a choice, ladies and gentlemen. I really just want to emphasize, it is a choice. It is not so much, and please hear me loud and motherfucking clear, it is not about like how much you do your affirmations and this and that, the technique, do and all this time that you're investing emptily into something that you yourself don't even begin to believe. What if you were to entertain a personality for whom it's easy? It's a lot easier. You know why? Because the universe is constructed in such a way where if you manage yourself for just even one split second, to arrange your thoughts in such a way where they mimic that timeline, that mimic that version of yourself. You're going to have access to this timeline. And it's going to feed you the lines. Do you understand? It's going to feed you the thoughts. It's the capturing of that personality. How does that person feels, even for one split second. Next day, you're going to augment it. And it's going to be 2 seconds. I don't know. Maybe it's 2 minutes. Etc., etc. Until such time and day that you wake up and you're like, shit, I'm not reacting the same way anymore. I'm actually having different proclamations and predictions, and therefore they come true. But you see how subtle it is. And again, I really want you to understand, number one, be aware that you are predicting your life. It's not that the universe does not hear you. It hears you loud and clear. Are you hearing yourself is the real fucking question. Okay, so taking inventory of those thoughts and being completely honest, this is the shit I'm thinking. Okay, then it makes it perfectly obvious why I'm living what I'm living. All right, so my job is then to tap into a different timeline where I have the success I want, I have the victory I want, I have this SP, this money, this healing, this career, this book deal, this album situation, whatever, recording deal, blah, 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 blah. Anything you want, there is already a storyline playing out. Tapping into it is a lot easier than trying to morph this older version into something else. The older version is the older version. Nothing really is wrong, in quotations, in that sense with you, other than it's just a version. The universe does not judge. It does not judge. This older version of you, it too belongs in eternity. It's like a museum, everything exists. So why argue in that sense? So when you really having powerful reactions as anger or frustration or disappointment or whatever it is towards something that you don't prefer, just understand you're in disagreement, in complete disagreement with eternity. This is why you feel shitty, because you don't let the shit be the shit. Let the shit be the shit. What do you want? Stop arguing with it. Don't get polluted with the shit. You know what I mean? You don't prefer it? Leave it alone very elegantly. And I know this is harder. It's easier said than done, as I say, but this is why I offer coaching. If you don't want to spend years and years in this is why I offer coaching, because it is a matter of guidance, and it certainly helps to have a guide who's done it themselves in their lives, many, many times. But it's literally you will not recognize yourself on another timeline. You're a different fucking person for whom DSP is mad easy. This moving company in New York, those of you who live in New York, this pink, oh my God, it's a pink truck. It says piece of cake. And it's it shows the hand that snaps the fingers. I love that shit. Every time I see it, yeah, it's a piece of cake. It's my sign, actually, one of my signs. When I'm thinking about something, it's a piece of cake. Okay, let's go. Anyway, but on the timeline, that person, that individual that you have access to, through only consideration, through only what kind of person would I have to be for whom this sees you? And how does this person feel right now? Go there. Go there with your feeling. Entertain, explore, be curious rather than judgmental, rather than beating yourself up. Become curious, not frustrated. Curiosity is wonderful. Curiosity means you really are, you rolled up your sleeves and you're here to work and you're here to learn, okay? Not to sabotage the shit out of your creations, not to be nasty to yourself, not to do stupid shit, okay? Especially coming from, and I, completely have empathy more than you'll ever know towards people who grew up in narcissistic parent household. It's difficult to do this. And again, this is why I offer coaching. But a version of you exists who literally does not know that it's a problem to have any SP that you want. Different incarnations of you, again, different challenges will propel you to different timelines. If that is your only challenge, my darling, you're doing fabulously well. And if it isn't, you're still doing fabulously well. You just need to identify what it is you want. What it is you want, what kind of person, what kind of career, what kind of everything. And just tap into it's available. There's a radio station, so to speak. There's a wave length. There's a something there informing you this is what's going on in this other reality. Why is that important? Because if you open your ears to it, it will feed you the inspirations, the ideas, the synchronicities, quote unquote, and all of it will arrange itself in such a beautiful, effortless way where you will be like, fuck, I used to work so hard for my manifestations and I no longer. I just no longer have to do it. Because I know how to trust and allow to become, to morph myself, to transform myself into the version of person who has it already, who has had it always, who doesn't know any different. And I'll tell you this, and this I will leave you with this. The golden Buddha in you, ready? The golden Buddha in you, that life, that you want with the money, with the SP, with the honey, the house, the everything. It's stationary. It's always there. That ideal version of everything that you seek, it's like a museum. And you, when you get off your ass and start being deliberate, have the ability to go visit that museum whenever the fuck you like, okay? However often you like, and take whatever you please. It's always there. It's always, always, always available. And guess what? It's always yours. It's always yours. Any distortion or any kind of challenge that comes up, again, is more of an opportunity for you to realize who you really are and that you're always already perfect. And we're all on our journeys. We're all in the process of becoming the masterpieces that we are. And in that sense, I really want you to start entertaining how this is a fun game and not a punishment, not a kind of destination. It always is a journey. After this so-called challenge, you will have other ideas, what you want to tweak and perfect and finesse and make more beautiful and make more amazing, because other things will excite you in the future. So it's always a journey. So start remembering that you're already perfect. Everything is already there. You're just here to evolve, to learn, and to become the golden Buddha of your life. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.